So, to wrap up, Tricia, one, I think, universal fact for an English teacher is workload. And with Common Core, there's a real emphasis on writing. And the Park assessment recommends 4 sort of major writing assignments per 9 weeks. That's a lot of writing, which would mean a lot of grading. So what sort of techniques have you developed so that you don't get bogged down in just constant grading of essays every single day of your life?
Well, one way that I really focus myself is once again through my rubric. I use a rubric to focus my students. These are the skills that I'm really going to be looking for, so you need to focus on that as you write. But that's really what I'm going to be looking for. So as I read a paper, I'm not getting lost in it. It can be really easy to get lost in student writing, to think about all the issues, all the ways it could improve, to look at it from sort of an editing standpoint. Oh, this could be so much better if you do this, this, and this. But you can't do that with every paper because it would take forever. So I focus myself. I know these are the skills I'm really trying to assess, and I try to focus on those skills. And another way that I kind of manage the workload is through in-class writing, giving students for, the different assessments, giving some in-class writing because it's a shorter amount of time, so it's a shorter amount of writing. And when you grade an in-class essay, you realize there are certain things that you're not going to look for that you would look for in a longer process essay.
And like what you said before, those in-class essays help you determine what your key focus is going to be for your long essays. So that's really that formative assessment which drives the instruction of what's going to be that big focus for the big essay. It's interesting that you said you're not editing the paper, and I think that's important. And when you do that, if you did look for every single problem, first of all, it would drive you crazy, and second of all, it's not going to be effective. It's not going to help the student grow as a writer. Whereas if you say, we're focusing on making a claim and supporting it with quotes and integrating those quotes clearly and cohesively, then everyone can wrap their mind around it. And so I think it helps you focus on that as a teacher, and then it helps the students focus on that in their writing. So I think it's sort of a win-win for everybody.
And another tool that has been helpful for me with all this writing my students have been doing is Edmodo. Through Edmodo, which you can sign up for free, students can turn in their essays and you can read them and you can see exactly when the student turned it in. And then you can annotate it right there and return the work to the student. So instead of having piles of paper that I'm taking home or that I'm transporting around with me, I can just get on the computer, I can read the essays, I annotate, I make comments right there, and then when I click grade, the student gets a notification, your essay's been graded, and they can look at all of my notes, and we can actually have a conversation about the paper, because I've had students, when they get their notes back, they're like, oh, that was such a silly mistake, can I fix this? It's like more of a conversation between the teacher and the student.
And what could be cool about that is it also saves it forever. So if there's ever an issue with parents and you want to look at the work with a parent, you want to look at the work with students, it's almost like a virtual folder that won't get lost.
Yeah, it's almost like a portfolio for the student as well.
Almost like a working portfolio, which is another best practice to use. Well, thank you very much, Tricia, for your time, as well as all of the work you're doing for students in Georgia. We really appreciate it very much and appreciate you coming here. And thank you for taking some time and joining us for our webcast. Please check out some of our other webcasts for grades K through 12. And if they're not all up now, they will be up over the next few weeks. And please check out some of our other resources on georgiastandards.org. Thank you and have a great day.